Okay, so good morning everyone. We're going to discuss about the physical self. So in this period, we're going to discuss the different types or how do a human improve and develop his or her body. Okay, so let's have the definition first. So when we say physical self, this refers to the body, this marvelous container and complex, finely tuned machine with which we interface with our environment and fellow beings. So, when we say physical self, this refers to our body. These are made of organs, as we all know. So, this physical structure or of an organism, whether living or dead, the thing that we use, this body is the thing that we use to interact with other person to our environment where we are gaining our experiences and knowledge. That is the discussion that we have before during the great philosophers and their ideas that a human can learn his or her own experience based from their or in connections with his or her senses. Let's try to discuss what are the different stages of the human cycle or the life cycle. So first we have the pregnancy. So the pregnancy, this is the development of the zygote into an embryo and then into a fetus in the preparation of a childbirth. Then we'll have the infancy. So the infancy, this is the earliest part of childhood, and it is the period from the birth through the age of 1. So during the infancy, infants typically grow about 10 inches during the first year. For boys, half the adult height is attained by about age of 2. When infants born, most of their body mass is in their head. As they grow older, the rest of their bodies catch up, just as they develop their motor skills, such as crawling, sucking, sometimes simple feet gestures or head gestures will do. Then next, we have the toddler years. So during the toddler years, occurs during the ages 2 and 3 are the most, this is the end of the early childhood. So during the toddler years, while children tend to gain about 3 to 5 pounds and grow their 5 inches between ages 1 and 2. This rapid growth tends to slow between ages 2 and 5. Child will develop increasing the strength and coordination. This is in connections with simple motor skills and body movements. Then we also have the childhood. Childhood takes place from ages 4 to 8. So during the childhood, this is where the areas in our brain has the control of the body movement and continue to mature, this enabling us to perform some motor skills like running, jumping. Sometimes we are parroting or doing what our parents are doing, like for example, for our mother. So they are cooking, and sometimes we are mimicking what are the things that they are doing. Sometimes we are dressing like them, then we are pertaining or performing their tasks and roles. So that is for the childhood era. Then we also have the puberty. So the puberty, this is the period from ages 9 to 13, which is the beginning of the adolescence. So during the puberty, I think we all uh, undergone in that phase of our life. So during the puberty in boys, the first sign of puberty is that their testicles are getting increases in the size, followed by the growth of a pubic hair and their penis lengthening. But for the girls, usually it is started during the first menstruation where we are gaining or we are having the enlargement of our breasts and as well as with our hips. Sometimes we're having some discolor turning into having some hair or growing some hairs in our armpits, diba? So those things are the changes for the puberty stage. Then we also have in the older adolescence, this is the stage that takes place between 18 to 21 years old. So during the late adolescence, generally we are now into a complete development of our grown to adult with our height. So meaning we are now having the full development of our height rate. So and also we are now having the full control of our motor skills. Then we also have the adulthood. So adulthood, this is the period from adolescence to the end of the life at the beginnings of the age 21. So during the middle age, these are now having the changes of in the vision, hearing, more joint pain, and sometimes weight gain. The vision is affected by this age because according to Lachman of 2004, he believes that the lens of the eyes gets larger but sometimes loses some ability for us to be flexible and adjust in the visual stimuli. So during this age, here comes now the arising, or here comes now the first symptoms of different sickness or illnesses if you are now in the adulthood stage. Then last one, we have the senior years. So during the senior years, this is extended from the age 55 until the end of life. So during the senior age, they are our elders. They are now tend to have bones try to be more shrinking and more dense. Then they are also in the weak, and they are more prone into fractures. Then sometimes they're having or experiencing also short-term breathing. Then muscles generally loses strength, and endurance also as well their flexibility. Then sometimes factors are also in connections with their ability to in coordination, stability, and balance. They are getting weak because they are now in the fragile stage. So if we're going to see the most fragile stages of an individual is during at this the start or the infancy, and at the end, which in the senior ages of the stages of life. Then now let's move on. What are the different factors if we're going to look into the development of our body or of our physical appearance? What are the different factors that influences the growth and development of an individual? First, we have heredity. When we say heredity, this is the transmission of physical characteristic from parents to children through their genes. It influences all aspects of physical appearance such as height, weight, body structure, the color of the eye, the structure of the hair, and even intelligence and aptitudes. I guess this is your topic during your senior or your junior high school days. This is particularly in grade 8 and grade 9, right? So as we all know, if we're let's I'm not going to discuss it more. Instead, I'm just going to get some glimpse for us to have a refreshing subject. So as we all know, human has a chromosomes made of 23 pairs, or no, that is 46. That carries a gene. Each of your parents has a two copy of each of their genes. Then each parent passes along to make a copy, and that will be put it into their, or that will be included to their offspring. So genes can sometimes contain conflicting informations, and most cases, one gene will win the battle of dominance. So as we all know, we are categorizing our genes. It depends upon dominant and recessive. So dominant gene, this is superior, and the recessive gene, which are inferior. So for example, if a child has one tall parent and one short parent, the child may end up splitting the difference being in the average height. But if we're going to look upon the characteristic trait, for example, having a dominant gene, like for example, for the color of an eye. So example, your father has a brown eye and your mother uh, has a blue eye, for example, then the dominant gene is from your father, for example, wherein wherein having a brown eye. So there is a higher percentage of possibility that you are going to get the genes from your father, or that is the characteristic that being inherited from your father. That is for the genetics and for the decoding of the characteristic traits from our parents. So they are giving it us. That is through heredity. So sometimes there is a scenario that they are saying that you gain you look like your father, you look like your mom, you have your mom's eye. I think that is in Harry Potter. You look like your mom, you have your mom's eyes. Then you have your father's figure, you have your father's height, and so on and so forth. That is for the heredity. Then we also have geographical influences. So where you live also has a great influence on how your children, or how we are turning out on who we are to be. So for the geographical location, so this is in connection, let's be particular with climate. So here in our country, we're living in a tropical country. That's why there is a connection of the climate to our complexions. So regardless of the skincare that you have, or regardless of the genes from different races, maybe if you have, then we can we can say that majority of complexions here in our country has a brown complexion. So that will give us a, or that will, the geographical location contributes to how or what is the our appearance in terms of our complexions. Another thing is for people lifestyle. So if your parents, or if we are living into the upper middle class, so there will be a lot of privileges that you will have more nutritious foods, or you are going to have more access for those types of living lifestyle. So, but if you are in the lower, or you are in the working class and below, maybe there is a lesser opportunity for you to have, and for you to decide for what are the things that you're going to eat. Okay, then next, we also have sex. So this is particularly for the major factors affecting the physical growth. This is what we discussed earlier, which is in the puberty stage. Then we also have exercise. So for the exercise, as we all know that we are the humans, and or needs to have a physical, or yeah, physical activities for us to gain, or for us to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So because I guess when we still are during our elementary days, our teacher is always encouraging us to have an exercise. That's why after our flag right ceremony, we're having right after those things, we're going to have a simple exercises, right? Because for them, or we are all aware that exercise strengthens our heart and improves our circulations. Then the increased blood flow arises the oxygen levels in our body, and because of exercises, it will help us to develop a better motor skills, and also it will lessen the risk of having different sickness, especially in connections with our heart issues. Okay, then we also have familial influences. Families have the most profound impact in nurturing a child and determining in the ways which they develop psychologically and socially. If we are from a family who are well disciplined, that there is a rule that you should not get, or you should not accept any food from a stranger, so it will be an effect. Another thing, if your parents are working outside this country, or if they are really busy, don't have any time for you, then they are not monitoring, they cannot monitor the things that you're going to eat. So you can just eat whatever you want, regardless if it is nutritious or not. So that is in also connections with the nutrition, like we have in the geographical locations, or in the lifestyle or social status of an individual. So for nutrition, it is a critical factor in growth, as everything that body needs to build and repair itself comes from the food we eat. So I think we are well educated during since our elementary days that if you want to be healthy, you need to eat the go, grow, and glow foods. So go foods for energy, grow foods for our physical appearances. Then for our if we want to have a glowy skin, we need to eat some vegetables and fruits, right? That is for the nutritious aspect. Then let's look upon also the environment. So I personally pick to put the environment at the very end of it, because this is the thing, or this is the issue that we are experiencing right now, especially you, that you are in this generation. So the environment plays a critical role in the development of a children, and it represents the sum total of physical and psychological stimulations that the child receives. So because of our environment, they are giving us now what options, or what are the choices we want to, how are we going to carry ourselves. So because of our environment, we are now having some options on how are we going to design, or how are we going to redesign ourselves, because these factors now gives us, or it is now concerning our psychological state. So Environment doesn't just influence our physical growth and development. Instead, they are influencing us with our decisions and choices in life. That is in connections on how do we want other persons to see us. And that is in connections of body image. So when we say body image, this is referring to a person's emotional attitudes, belief, perceptions of their own body. So when we say body image, this is how you want or this is how you look yourself. So if you're going to look into a mirror, for example, what are the adjectives that is popping in your mind? So every time, for example, that you are going to look into a mirror, what are the things that you notice? Is it your beautiful eyes? Is it your white teeth? Is it your perfect nose or pointed nose? Or in a negative way that if you are going to look into a mirror, the things that that the only thing that you see are your pimple marks, my imperfect nose, my lazy eye, my imperfect eyebrows, and so on and so forth. That is what we call body image. How do you see yourself? Okay, so also about a person's body image will range from positive or satisfaction or in a negative or dissatisfaction. So if you are in a positive or you are satisfied with yourself, you are keeping on giving good positive impacts about yourself. So if you're going to look into the mirror, you're going to say, ang ganda ko talaga. O kaya, ang perfect mo. Diba? That is how we give positive impact. That is how we are satisfied with ourselves without any sugar coating on it. But if we're going to turn it into the other side of the coin, dissatisfaction, it is, yes, nagsa-self-compliment ka. Diba? Natatry nyo ba yan? That if you're going to look in the mirror, you're going to say na, yun nga, ay, ang ganda ko talaga, ang swerte talaga ng magiging boyfriend o girlfriend nito. May ganun tayong impact, right? That is a positive way of having a body image. But there is also a negative one. So, may I just ask you, what are the reasons why other persons are having dissatisfaction of their body? So for you, what are the reasons why are we having or why other persons look at themselves and having a conclusion that they are not satisfied or they are not in the average type of an individual? Do you think what are the reasons? Okay, according to Janice, it is the societies. Yeah, the society's feedback. Okay, I'm just going to look for your comments. Okay, how about the others? What are the other issues that you have? If you want to wave, you can just wave. You can just tap the icon, or if you want, you can just you can just chat it in our on call message. So body shaming, yeah, that's correct. So let's go first with comparing. So yeah, that is the summary of those things. We are comparing ourselves because that is visible in the environment. So if we see other person who are, we are now having some parameters and standards of being beautiful, right? So if you are a tall, if you are having dimples, if you are having thin lips, if you are having a perfect eyebrows and wearing an OOTD, I guess that is the parameter and that is the standard for you to belong in or having an adjective of being a beautiful, right? Body shaming, yes, we are I think in line with dresses, there is now a discrimination that there are people who can wear this and there are people who cannot wear that. So especially if they are wearing, for example, if I want to wear a backless, then it is not appropriate with me because I am chubby. I'm having a broad shoulders. I am looking like a macho person, so it is not applicable with me. It's not suitable. Then if I'm going to wear a fitted dress, diba, I'm going to look like a suman or kakani, right? And it's not. That is one way of discriminating, right, in terms of clothes. Judgmental persons because they are having a lot of comments on what are the things that you are going to wear, right? They are the bullied person as well. Then low self-esteem, right? Because of these things, because of the comparison of what is lacking to us that is present to other, we are now having or we're now developing a low self-esteem or the self-worth. We believe that we are not worthy enough. We believe that we are not good enough. We believe that there are things that is lacking with us. I have a fair color. I don't have a fair color. I have a lot of pimple marks. I am not perfect. Then sometimes we are having these conclusions in connection with a relationship. I am not attractable, that's why the other person doesn't appreciate me. No one wants to be in a romantic relationship with me. Then we're now having self pity, right? But sometimes you compare yourself for better, then that's a good thing, right? If we're going to compare ourselves with other person and motivates us and not will not give us any insecurities at all, then sometimes we are motivating that I okay, someday I'm going to look like that, or we'll be motivated that okay, I can achieve that, or even I'm not having the same body structure with him or with her, I can also wear that and slay that, and that's a good thing. Okay, you are keeping your confidence high up, and that's a good that is a good body image. Okay, so nowadays we are having a body or poor body image simply because of social media, because we are now having, or we need there are some problems that we are having right now, that we need to have a validation from other people, right? That if we are going to post this picture of ours, what will be the feedback of other person? So even though we want to post this, for example, you went to a beach, then you are wearing a short shorts and maybe a top, then but according to the societal standards, that those person who will wear who will wear revealing clothes should having a body like this, a standard with this, then you're going to come up with the idea that I'm not going to wear it anymore because I'm not a sexy person, or I'm not the standard of the society. So ended up keeping it in your gallery. You're going to keep it in your phone because you don't want to show it to other person. That is what we call plus, right? That sometimes because of too much, or we are now in our cyber world, we are too much thinking about what will other person say. So we are now having the idea that okay, am I going to wear this because what will I want to post it because I believe that I am beautiful with this thing. But that's not it. That's not what we are going to do. Instead, we're going to keep it because what might other people say? What might other people give me a comment? What if they're going to say that I am trying hard? What if other person might say that I'm not beautiful? And so on and so forth. And that will now give you and lead you to having a low self-esteem. Okay, so I'm going to show you something. Okay, wait. I'm going to show you something. This is a social experiment from other country that is sponsored by Dove. Okay, so we're going to look for a simple social experiment in connection with our subject. Okay, I hope it's playing. I'm sorry, I'm lagging. I'm sorry if I'm really lagging. This is for geographical discrimination, I guess. Okay, so we're just going to stop it there because I am really lagging with my presentation. Okay, so I'm just let's try to just try to brainstorm about what we've seen. Okay, so there is a two door that may lead us to enter the establishment, right? That is their social experiment. Then the first door is labeled as beautiful, and the other door is labeled as an average. So this is a social experiment. So if they are going to enter this certain establishment, where which among the door they're going to enter, is it in the beautiful door or is it in the average door? So as the first days of this social experiment, we have noticed that some of women are confused where are they going to enter, which of which, right? So they don't know if how are they going to classify themselves. Am I average or am I beautiful, and so on and so forth. But maybe there are some who really in rush and needs to go inside that establishment. Then they just have the benefit of the doubt that okay, someone will not think about these things. Then I'm just going to enter in the average door. So and so on and so forth. Everyone enters in the average, and it's, as you can see, there are some that they ask that why did you enter in the average door. Then they're just saying because on average I didn't think twice and I entered it because that is how I see myself, right? Then if we're going to look also, if we're going to finish this thing. I'm sorry, but I'm lagging. But as the experiment goes by, there is now a little number of women entering in the beautiful side of, or in the beautiful door, or the door labeled as a beautiful. Then, if they're now going to walk in in the door of beautiful, they are having a high confidence. Then they are walking as if they are in a ramp or in a fashion model ramp. Then they're claiming that they are beautiful. They're feeling that they are beautiful. Then when the person asks them that why did you enter in the beautiful side, then they're just simply say, I'm beautiful. That's why I walk in that door because I belong to that door. I am beautiful. Then there is also a scenario there that it is a mother and a child setup wherein her child goes to the average. Then the mom pulled the child. Then she opened the door. Then she says, "You should enter here. You're beautiful because because you're my daughter." Right. So this is a simple social experiment on how we, or especially for women or even a man, if, even a man can be categorized as beautiful. So if we're going to see ourselves, if we're going to conclude this type of scenario, sometimes, or there are some times of us that we might think that we are just an average, or sometimes we are not so confident that we are beautiful. Okay, so by concluding this simple social experiment by Dove Company, we can conclude that being beautiful is a choice, right? So if you choose to be the average, then that's you. That's how you see yourself. That's how you accept it. But if you choose to be the beautiful one, then that's your choice. Okay? So here in our country, especially here in our country, sorry, I'm not being racist with our own country. Here in our country, there are a lot of definition of being beautiful, right? That if you are beautiful, you need to be like this, right? You need to be have you need to have a fair complexion. If you're beautiful, you need to be an artist-like person. If you're beautiful, you need to have dimples. If you're beautiful, you need to be a Korean-like people, right? Those things are the standards of the society that we need to hit. It is like a checklist for us if we want to belong to the clan of being beautiful. But those things should be eliminated. Why? Because being beautiful doesn't have any exact description at all. We are now in this generation wherein we should embrace each and other person's differences. Okay? Being beautiful doesn't need any justification from other people. Okay? Being beautiful is happiness. If you are happy, then that's beauty, right? Being beautiful is a choice, like what we've watched earlier. Being beautiful is if you accepted that you're beautiful, then that's it. Okay, whether other people might disregard your idea or not, you don't need to persuade them. You don't need to let them, hey, you need to believe in me that I'm beautiful. No. If you choose to be beautiful, then that's it. Okay? Being beautiful is, beauty is unique. We are having different ways, we are having differences, and those things are beautiful. We are it is like our own opinion in our lives. Okay, this must be having an open minded that every individual has their own differences, and we are not in the line and in not we are not in the place to give judgment and comments about their lives. Then beauty is a satisfaction. Okay, if you are satisfied with yourself, if you are satisfied with the things that you have, then I guess that's being beautiful, right? The only thing that we need to have is being first the first thing that we need to have is satisfaction. We need to be satisfied of the things that we have. Okay, we need to be satisfied of our appearances. Okay, God created us in a unique way. Even though you are having the same name with other person, even though you are having the same qualification or physical appearance of that person, God created us uniquely. Okay, and I guess we should all agree with that. Okay, and those uniqueness will lead us with our own beauty. Okay, we need to be more satisfied. Okay, I guess that is just the problem. You need to own your beauty. Okay, being satisfied doesn't mean that, okay, I'm not going to elevate myself according to our discussion, that being satisfied is okay, I'm just going to stick with this. My teacher said that I need to be satisfied. No, if you want to elevate, if you want to reconstruct your image, for example, you want to have a fairer skin, then I'm going to use this product, then it's okay. But if you want to have a slimmer body, then you're going to engage yourself with physical activities, then it's okay, as long as your purpose is you're going to do it for yourself. Okay, I'm going to elevate myself, I'm going to recreate my image, I'm going to try to have some physical activities because it is for myself. Then I guess that's good. Why? Because if we're going to recreate and if we're going to elevate ourselves just to please other person's ego, if we're just going to do it just for a sake of revenge, that I'm going to show it to my ex, that hey, you wasted this person, this beautiful person, I guess that is not a worthy purpose. You need to rethink, you need to think twice rather, for you to know what is your purpose in life. Everything that we are going to do, I think this is what am I advocating you since the first day that we have. This is about the self and identity, right? That you should know how to embrace yourself. Okay, you should know how to be satisfied with yourself. If you want to elevate yourself, then do it, because this will make you happy. This will make you this will make you worthy. This will make you beautiful. This will make you happy. Okay, not just because I need a validation from other person, not just because I need to justify it. It is like a sentence. Okay, if you're going to say to other person, I am beautiful, then they're going to ask you because, then you're going to continue it, I am beautiful because I have a fair skin, I am beautiful because I don't have a pimple marks. I guess you should try to replace it. I am beautiful, period. Okay, I am beautiful, that is a single sentence that expresses a complete thought with subject and predicate, an adjective to be exact, that you are beautiful, and that's it. It expresses a complete thought. You don't need to show evidences. You don't need to show any validations. You don't need to convince other person or persuade other person to believe on you. As long as you believe on yourself that you're beautiful, then that thing matters. Okay, so I hope that maybe some of you will say, is it too easy to say that I'm going? But just a simple, even a small tablespoon of trust and belief, everything will change. Okay? Accept the reality that you are beautiful and everything will follow. This will give you a high self-esteem. Okay? This will for your own benefit. Being beautiful doesn't give you any power at all. It will just give you a self-confidence, and those things will be your first stepping stone for any career that you want to have in the near future. Okay, so we should claim that we are beautiful. Are you going to agree to me if I'm going to say that we are all beautiful? Yes, accepting your flaws illustrates how you love yourself. Accepting your flaws, right? If I'm like this and I don't care, right? If it irritates your eyes, I don't care, as long as I'm accepting myself, then that matters. Well, why do we need other people's comment? If, for example, if we're going to post our picture, if they're going to comment, oh, you're beautiful, oh, you're ugly, or I can see your pimple marks, and so on and so forth, do this comment make you less human? Not. Okay? So we should accept the reality that we are beautiful. We should claim it. Okay? So if you cannot remember every lessons that I am teaching on you, at least I hope you are going to remember it and engrave it to your mind that I am advocating you to believe that you are all beautiful. Okay? Yes, stop calling it as flaws. We must call it as pictures. Some might call it flaws, but we should enlighten ourselves that it is our special pictures. It is our unique ways. This is our unique specifications that other persons might not copy, might not have, and those things make us unique. Those things make us beautiful. Okay. So, do you believe now that you are beautiful? Are you believing now that you are beautiful? Yes or no? You can open your mic now. Are you
Yes, ma'am, I
beautiful? Yes
do.
or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Correct.
ma'am.
Eh,
Diba? You are
I'm
beautiful,
confident.
okay? How about the others? You're still doubting? Are you still doubting that you are beautiful? Or you just open your mic? Are you beautiful or not? How about the others? Oh my gosh, I guess Joshua is just the only person who claims that he is beautiful.
OMG, thank you,
Remember,
ma'am.
being beautiful or the word beautiful doesn't have a specific, okay? It can be for men and women. Okay, as long as it will give you an appearance, a good aura, that's beauty. Okay? Yes, we are all beautiful. I want you to open your mic, then you need to say you're beautiful, okay? I want you to claim it. Okay? I am beautiful in one, two, three.
I am
I am
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yan, maganda.
For the others, they are really not fun. Maybe they are just in the process of they're still processing the concept of they are beautiful, I guess. So there are some who are still doubting. You don't need to doubt, okay? You don't need to doubt. We are all created beautifully, okay? We are not we are not factory made individual that it is accepted to have a defects on it. No, okay, we are God's created. Okay, so we should embrace those things. We are unique and we are satisfied with our own beauty because that is the reality of life. Okay, God created us in our unique ways, and those things, our pictures, those things are making us unique, and those things are the standards of being beautiful. Okay, so I hope you believe on those things. I am really advocating that you are going to believe on my statement that you are beautiful. Okay, so for your activity, okay, I hope you're going to note it, but I am going to post it in our CS. So for your activity, you're going to make an essay that you're going to choose. For example, we're going to reconstruct the social experiments that we've watched. Okay, so if you're going to enter into the two doors, if you're going to enter a certain establishment, a door labeled in a beautiful and a door labeled in the average. Where what door are you going to choose, or where door are you going to enter? Is it in the beautiful level or in the average level? You need to be true to yourself. Okay, so if you claim that you are going to go into the average, then justify it why. And if you're going to the beautiful, if you're going to enter in the beautiful labeled door, then justify why. Okay, so you need it is a Word type file activity and to be submitted at the end of this week. So I hope you are all aware with that. Okay, so beauty is when you look at me according to Remark. Why did you say charot? No, okay, so we should claim it. It is not being boastful. Okay, it is what we call reality that we are all beautiful. Okay, that is not bragging. Okay, that is not bragging, that is claiming. Okay, that is claiming that we are beautiful, as long as we also know our limitations. But claiming and claiming to yourself and accepting the reality that you are beautiful will be enough. Okay, So I hope you've learned something in our discussion. I hope you I hope you are really encouraged, or some might be still processing the idea that they are beautiful. At least you've tried. Okay, just a ample amount of trust and belief, then you will gonna accept the reality that you are all beautiful. Okay, so thank you everyone for listening. I hope you've gained something